Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So I know it's been a while since we uploaded on the YouTube channel. Expect to see a lot more upcoming in the future. Today we're going to be doing some CDL pick'em predictions coming up for week 3 of the Major 2 online qualifiers. This is the biggest week of the qualifiers. It's going to determine everyone's seeding going into Major 2 at Boston. And yeah, expect to see a lot more on the channel, guys. Stuff like pick'ems, casting, gameplays, different stuff like that. If you guys haven't already, hit the sub button. Make sure to like this video and let's get right into it. Alright, so let's get into it. Week 3 of the Major 2 qualifiers. This video as well, guys, is brought to you by Incentive Rise. Be sure to check them out down below in the description. We'll be working together for a lot of these videos upcoming in the future. So yeah, I'm going to do this kind of day by day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And to kick us off on Friday, we have London Royal Ravens up against Florida Mutineers. Both of these teams have been struggling heavily in this last split so far. You can see here the current standings after the first 2 weeks of qualifiers online. Ravens sitting at 1 and 3, Florida Mutineers 1 and 2. So I mean, to have any chance of being into winners bracket, you need at least 2 wins with a decent map count, if not 3. For this week, it is the final game for Ravens, so they need to basically get a 3-0 here and have like an 8 and 10 map count to have a good chance. And for Mutineers, they have this game and then they play Breach on the Saturday, so it's going to be a tough week for them. We do see roster changes for both teams, really. You got Paul X coming back in, Zero being brought to the bench this time. Obviously, it's Scraps as well, who got brought in not too long ago. The main thing for this London team, ASIM, just been unbelievable. I'm sure all you guys know. And the rest of the team kind of finding their footing, I think, slowly but surely. Again, both these teams on the lower half. You see Florida then bringing in Dav Paddy. He's back into the league, baby. Brack, unfortunately, being taken out, which is kind of controversial, at least on paper. And yeah, Florida's main problem, great search, guys. But again, their hard point has been, I mean, just respawns in general. The hard point has just not been on pace with the rest of the league. I feel like their pacing's a little bit too slow, things like that. And I think bringing Dav Paddy might not be the best of moves, but again, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I think London are bringing it together a little bit more. I think I'll take them 3-1 in this series. I think if it goes game 5, Mutineers would take it with the S&D that they have, but I don't think London is going to let it get that far. So we got 3-1 for London in this first series. Then, coming up to another interesting one, we have New York Subliners up against the Las Vegas Legion. Legion, another one of those S&D teams, the best S&D team in the game, I would say, without doubt. I think they've been on a crazy S&D win streak, something like 8-9 S&Ds in a row. And then New York, kind of the opposite of that, with more so the hard points and respawns being unbelievable, and the S&D being kind of a mixed bag. You can see Vegas are 1 and 2, so they're in threat of getting into the losers bracket for Major 2 as well. New York sitting a little bit more comfortable 2 and 1. It could be 3 and 0 if they didn't choke that series versus FaZe over the weekend, even though there was some technical issues. But I think in this one, I think it's another standard 3-1. I think Vegas take the S&D pretty easily, but New York take the 2 hard points and the control pretty easily as well. Vegas could upset, and if it goes to a map 5 again, I would take Vegas, the kind of the S&D team, to take that map 5. But I think New York, I'm not going to let that slip and take it 3 maps to 1. Then the final one for Friday, we have LA Gorillas up against Atlanta FaZe. 2 really good teams as of late. Particularly kind of surprising, I suppose, is Gorillas bringing up the most of their academy roster, bar Diamond Con, as I kept on Arcides, but their hard point has been really, really good. The Joe Deceives Exceed duo. These guys have been absolutely moving. Potentially one of the best sub duos in the league if they keep it up and keep improving. But I think, I mean, we kind of saw this matchup with the full Challengers roster and FaZe Nesload Gorillas. I think it could be kind of similar here. FaZe's S&D has been looking better than their hard point. I would probably take... I'd probably take FaZe 3-2. I think it could be a Neslo, or I think LAG take at least 1 hard point, and then maybe they probably both hard points, or else maybe take the control, something like that. But I think FaZe is going to go map 5, and FaZe's S&D is just going to be better than LAG, who are a newfound roster. And yeah, that's going to be probably the best matchup of the day, and I think it's going to be FaZe in a game 5. Now, moving on to our Saturday, we're kicking it off with a pretty good game, I would say. Toronto Ultra and LA Gorillas. You can see Ultra, these guys have been playing really good, really well all season long. They're kind of a new team with Scrap coming in and bringing Standy over from Rocker last season, and they've been kicking it off good. They did have a kind of a weird series versus OpTic where they got trio slammed and last weekend, which was kind of a shock to a lot of people. But they have been looking very good overall, sitting at 3-1. They're pretty much guaranteed winners, bar Disaster. And on the other side, LAG, they're sitting 2-1. We do have LAG losing again, like we said, 3-2 to FaZe. And I think, I don't know, it's kind of tough for me. I feel like before this OpTic series, I could have seen Ultra just demolish LAG 3-1, 3-0. But I think LAG might be able to pull off a 3-1 here. I think it goes map 5. I think Ultra's S&D much more put together than LAG. So I think if it goes map 5, Ultra would take it. But I think LAG, they're going to win both hard points and have a chance in that map 2 search, but probably just win all the respawns. This is a bit of a hot take. I know a lot of you guys are going to take Ultra here. I might be a bit faded, but I like to kind of, get a couple interesting predictions in there that might not be with the status quo. So we're going to go with LAG 3-1 over Toronto. Could be wrong there, but it's nice to throw a curveball in. Then we have OpTic Texas up against a Las Vegas Legion. OpTic, they've been flying through these qualifiers 3-0 so far. Obviously, Scump moving out, retiring. Crazy news for everyone in the scene. And then bringing Hook into the roster and, well, bringing back Dashi after all the drama on that side. And honestly, XCO plus Dashi have been looking unbelievable. The chemistry, Rambo's out. At least that's the current rumor. Rambo out. They kind of got their analyst in at the moment. I think I'd probably take OpTic here, and it might just be a smoke show. I think XCO's OpTic's S&D is probably the best mode, which kind of counters Vegas's win, kind of their win, the way they win series. Their win condition, that's what I was looking for. So I think that it'll completely neutralizes Vegas' win condition. OpTic will smoke them game 1 hardpoint. They'll win the S&D. Vegas will be down bad. The control won't be close. So yeah, I have OpTic taking a trio, and that's going to make Vegas finish 1-4. In their qualifiers, and definitely getting losers bracket, so that's tough for them. But then the next series, we have Florida Mutineers and Boston Breach. Breach definitely had a kind of a weird major one with Wake going out, being sick and having to bring Beans in, but they've been looking pretty good so far. Apparently they're the gauntlet in scrims, like the best scrim team in the game, which is kind of strange that they don't really kind of bring that over to some of their other matches. But they're 2-1 so far. I think they've lost to only OpTic. They're looking good. Mutineers with the new change, I don't think it's going to suit them. Breach with Vivid up front. And Nero, I think their pace will be too much. Wake will just be going double pause in, doing what he does. So I'd say it'll be probably a 3-1. Breach's S&D hasn't been good. I think Mutineers will take the S&D pretty easily, but the respawns won't be close. So then the last series, which is one of the marquee matchups that you can see the CDL marks here, double points. We got New York Sublines versus Seattle Surge. Seattle Surge coming second in your Major 1. But since then, having a tough time. 0-3 in the qualifiers, not able to win an S&D. New York definitely not the best S&D team, so you could see Seattle maybe kind of bring it together a little bit, see if Lamar can ice up for the boys and see if they can take that. But it's going to be tough. I think Surge... Oh, it's actually very tough who I take in this one. Oh, I think Surge are already kind of down bad. I want to play more at LAN. They're definitely better on LAN than online. So I think I'll probably take New York 3-2. I think it's going to be another heartbreaker for Seattle. Now, finally, we'll go on to our Sunday, the final day of Week 3 qualifiers for your Major 2, the deciding day. So we're going to kick it off with Seattle Surge and Minnesota Rocker. You can see Rocker are sitting 2-2, so pretty big game for them. If they win this, winner's bracket pretty much locked in. And if they lose it, then it could be kind of up to kind of the map counts, need something to go in their favor. But I think, again, with Seattle, we saw that we predicted them to lose against New York on the Saturday, and that would make them 0-4. So I think if that does happen, as I've predicted, I think they'll be off the rails here. It might actually be another game 5 where Rocker clutch up. I could actually maybe see a 3-1 here. I think Rocker, led by Afro, everyone else doing their thing. Bance has been playing really good as of late. I think they'll probably take it in 4, 3-1. Surge will probably take a hard point, and then the rest I think will go Rocker's way. Rocker will get winner's bracket, and Seattle are going to be getting an 0-5 stage here. So that's how I'm going to see it going. It could be the other way around. Who knows? Surge could have a great weekend, but I think Rocker is just going to capitalize off Surge's bad streak online and take it 3-1. So then we have Boston Breach up against the LA Thieves. I'm not certain if Capital's still in for this series or if Kenny's back. I think Cap might still be playing. He's been unreal. He's been frying. But again, when it comes down to some of the better teams, it's going to be harder to beat them without your regular fourth. So it's going to be tough. I have a feeling Breach will take this one. Thieves are sitting currently 1-3, so this is a massive game for them. If they want any chance of winners, they got to take this basically 3-0, 3-1, which I definitely don't see happening. So they're pretty much going to be guaranteed losers if they lose this series. But I do think Boston will clutch up. I think they'll ride the momentum off that Mutineers win and then have some confidence going into the Thieves series. So I think it's going to be 3-1. I don't see a map 5 here. I think Boston will give up one map, maybe the S&D, something like that. But I think Breach take a 3-1 and carry some momentum into their own major at Major 2 in Boston. Then the final series, the big one for this weekend, Atlanta FaZe up against OpTic Texas. Everyone's going to want to see this. FaZe, they've been kind of looking up and down, some strange series here and there, but also looking dominant in their own fashion here in some series as well. And then OpTic, the new XEO Dashi, looking unbelievable. These guys hooking shots you up front, so hard to handle. You got Illy really popping off lately. He's been like the MVP for this online stage, I feel like. And then Dashi's Dashi, he's just gross. So it's going to be an interesting one. I would favor... Actually, I was going to say I'd favour FaZe and the S&Ds because they've been really good. They've been one of the best S&D teams. But OpTic with this new roster have been unbelievable in search. So, it's going to be tough. I feel like it is a map 5. I feel like it's a map 5 for both these teams. I think they might split the hard points. And then one of them will clutch up in search, one clutch up in the control. And I think if it does go to a map 5, I feel like I'll take OpTic in this one just because they've been... OpTic Texas have kind of been on a high with this new roster, you know, the honeymoon period, and they've just been working, meshing so well together. And I think FaZe, very good team as well. They're sitting at 2-1, and we had them in another series with over at Gorillas, so they'll probably take that, even though it's hard to know. So they should be good for winners either way. But I think OpTic could clutch up, they'll ride the momentum, go up 3-2. And yeah, that's going to do it for my predictions for the final week of Major 2 online qualifiers. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for our predictions for the final week of Major 2 online qualifiers. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let me know down in the comment section if you agree with these predictions or if you think I'm absolutely faded. And yeah, be sure to show some love to Incentivize down below in the description, and I will catch you guys in the next video.